In the years 2003 to 2007, we got the best movie trilogy about pirates of all time. But one of those movies is better than the rest. And I want to talk about it. Okay, and before anyone gets angry at me, I love all of these movies so much. Not to brag, but growing up, my mom owned a Lexus SUV with a DVD player. So on long road trips, I was either taking one of the Lord of the Rings movies or one of the Pirates movies. But there always has to be a favorite. So what is mine? It's Dead Man's Chest. They don't make movies like this anymore. I mean, first of all, these are original stories. Yes, there was a Pirates of the Caribbean theme park ride or something that gave them the inspiration, but let's be honest, it's original. There's no pre-existing lore for the writers and the directors to pull from. The color palette of this movie is just so beautiful. You got the beautiful light blues of the ocean, the vibrant greens of the trees. Most movies today have a gray, ugly color palette. Just take a look at Endgame over here. Transformers movie. I don't know, I'm probably putting some ugly looking movie right here. Let's just take a deep dive into the movie, see what it's all about, and we'll go over why I love this one more than the rest. So let's start with the intro. I think actually all of the Pirates movies have really excellent intros that really captivate you and draw you into the movie. In Pirates 1, we have Jack coming in on his sinking ship, which just perfectly outlines who this character is. In Pirates 3, you have this little kid who's in line at the gallows, who starts singing a little ditty, and then everybody joins in, and then he gets hung and dies. But it's a great intro, and this movie is no exception. To start, we see that Will and Elizabeth's wedding has been interrupted. We're then introduced to the villainous Cutler Beckett.
His lord now. Actually.
Right after this, we get this really creepy and eerie dark scene of this prison by the ocean, where it appears there's men that are being locked in cages, tortured, crows are eating out their eyes, and the jailers are meanwhile tossing coffins into the ocean. One of these coffins drifts out as the camera follows it. A crow taps his little beak on the coffin, and bang! It's revealed that Jack's inside. I mean, just look at the way that Jack is pointing his gun to and fro before he actually comes out of the coffin. He's a cartoon character, and yet he works. More on that later. So Jack is then picked up by his crew, and it's revealed that his crew is kind of losing faith in Jack. But he presents them with a picture of a key, and he's intentionally confusing about it.
We don't have the key. We can't open whatever it is we don't have that it unlocks. So what purpose would be served in finding whatever need be unlocked, which we don't have, without first having found the key what unlocks it? So, we're going after this key! You're not making any sense at all.
Meanwhile, you got Lord Beckett offering Will and Elizabeth a pardon if Will brings back Jack's compass. Now back on the Pearl, Jack encounters Bootstrap Bill. Now, in the course of this conversation, we find out that Jack made a deal with Davy Jones. The deal? Davy Jones would raise the Black Pearl from the depths, apparently it sunk at some point, so that Jack could be captain for 13 years. At the end of that 13 years, Jack would then have to serve on the Flying Dutchman for 100 years. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. That's a bad deal. So Bootstrap gives Jack a black spot and tells him that whoever has this black spot is going to be hunted down by a horrifying sea creature. So Jack needs to get the F off open water. Cut back to Will, and he's trying to hunt down Jack Sparrow. We see a montage of him asking people questions about Jack, and eventually he's led to a deserted island where the Black Pearl has washed ashore. Will is pretty quickly captured by a local tribe of cannibals, one that Jack has been made the god of for whatever reason. I mean, I get it. He's Johnny Depp. But really, he's a prisoner too. They plan to sacrifice and eat him. He's only their god.
The number you have reached.
So now the goal is to escape. This whole island sequence, while very fun, I really enjoy it, really feels like a side tangent. This all comes about because Jack is just trying to run away from the Kraken. But you get a fun sequence of the crew rolling around in a ball. You get the fun sequence of Jack with the pole strapped around his back and he's running. He does flips and stuff. Jack falls off of a mountain and somehow survives. Again, like I said, he's a cartoon character, and yet it just works so well. Also, Elizabeth escapes prison and forces Lord Beckett to sign, I guess, acquittal papers, but he still says he's gonna want the compass, so I don't really know what the purpose of this was. We do find out that he's after a chest, so that's a key point. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, these two guys are back. I have no idea what their names are, but I love them. They've got some funny bits in this movie where they're trying to be better. One of them has found a Bible and is trying to live a more moral life, but both of them end up twisting morality to suit their own needs in a comedic way.
Chess must be worth more than a shiny penny. Terrible temptation. If we was any kind of decent, we'd remove temptation from their path.
This guy is also responsible for my favorite line from the series. Haul loose the mooring line! The mooring line! They escape the island. Will tells Jack he wants the compass. Jack says, hey, I'll give you the compass if you help me find this here key. So they head on down to the bayou so they can see Tia Dalma. Now I know, and you know, because we've all seen this movie, and so I can't be a spoiler, that Tia Dalma is in fact the goddess Calypso. So I'm going to refer to her as Calypso, if that's all right. Calypso tells them the story of Davy Jones and how he cut out his own heart and put it in a chest. She gives Jack a jar of dirt.
Dirt. This is a jar of dirt.
And then she shows them where to find the Flying Dutchman. So they fast travel out into the ocean in the middle of the night. Jack takes advantage of Will's naivety. Jack takes advantage of Will's lack of knowledge about Davy Jones and sends him aboard this recent wreck of the Kraken. And then suddenly the Flying Dutchman emerges from the ocean. And I just love the theme that plays. So fitting. So Will is quickly captured.
Down on your marrow bones and pray.
Marrow bones? I've never understood what that means. I mean, there's marrow in your bones, down on your marrow. Am I misunderstanding? What is he saying? Let me know in the comments. And now enter Davy Jones. I love Davy Jones. I mean, his design is Oscar worthy. I mean, come on. Crab leg that's like a peg leg. His hand that's a crab claw like a pirate hook. His tentacle beard. And his accent, well, yes, it's a little bit silly.
Life is cruel. Why should the afterlife be any different?
Is so unique and ubiquitous with the character that I think it is just marvelous. And the CGI still holds up so well. I have no idea how they did it and how there's CGI coming out today that looks worse than this. That just can't match it. I mean, he's one of the greatest villains put to screen, in my opinion. So Will tells Davy Jones that Jack sent him to settle his debt. And then we get this scene here, which also confused me as a kid. You see Jack looking through his telescope at Davy Jones. Davy Jones turns around, looks at him, and then Jack puts the telescope down to reveal that Davy Jones is right in front of him. And the movie doesn't explain it. And I think that's awesome. Later on, as you watch this movie and the next movie, you come to understand more about Davy Jones and his powers, and that he kind of has the ability to teleport to other ships and the ability to move through solid matter. I just really love when a movie shows and doesn't tell. So Jones comes to claim Jack's debt, but Jack talks himself into another deal. Price. The new deal? And Jack has 3 days to bring Davy Jones 100 souls. One of those being Will, so 99 souls.
I keep losing at deals, and I don't want to make a deal anymore.
Now, something I do appreciate about Jack is that he does attempt to get Will back by appealing to Davy Jones' distaste of love. He informs Davy that Will's in love and that it'd probably be crueler for Davy to let Will be with his love because, as we come to find out, Davy, my boy, has a broken heart. However, his attempt fails and Davy keeps Will, so Jack and his crew go to Tortuga to try to get their 99 souls. I like that we get this scene of Jack shaking his compass. We're getting the signs here that Jack can't decide what it is he wants. It's here that Captain Norrington shows up, looking pretty rough, and Elizabeth too. Gosh, I love the setting of Tortuga. I mean, the music is just fantastic, and the fact that a bar fight breaks out every time you're in here. What a place. I'd love to go someday. Okay, folks, you want the honest truth about why I think this movie is the best. The whole reason I made this video, it's because of this scene right here. Davy Jones playing the organ. Everything about it comes together to just create the perfect scene. I mean, the set design. You got this organ with these coral pipes that emit steam in front of this giant glass window on a pirate ship. Oh, that's just the coolest thing I've ever heard of. Whoever's brain this came out of needs the most money in the world. And you got Jones over here playing with his tentacle beard, sick. And the music. Hans Zimmer just never disappoints in these movies. I mean, I honestly think this is some of his best work is in the Pirates films. And not to mention what the music represents. We see that he has a little music box, one that he apparently shared with the one who broke his heart. And we see him in the scene playing the song very angrily. But later on, we hear the tune that actually comes out of the music box. It's very quiet and very, very calming. Again, so much is shown here and just not told. Well, guys, bad news. Unfortunately, all my crops were destroyed in a recent snowstorm, so I'll be unable to finish this video while I recuperate all my losses. Please just know that I really like Pirates of the Caribbean 2, and it's a great movie, and you should watch it. Please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.